So, ready or not, right? This was directed by Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett, written by Guy Busick and R. Christopher Murray. It's produced by Trip Vinson, James Vanderbilt, William Sherratt, Bradley J. Fleischer. It is co-produced by Anthony Pangolas. Executive produced by Chad Villiela. Tracy Nyberg. Tara Farney. And Daniel Beckerman. Associate production is via TK Knowles and John O'Grody. Okay, Brian Tyler handled the score. We got Brett Jukowitz on cinematography. Terrell Gibson edits the piece, with casting from John Buchan, Jason Knight, and Yessi Ramirez. Okay, Andrew M. Stern handles production design. Art direction is Brad Greaves. Set decoration is Mike Lendro. Costumes, wardrobe, we have Avery Plews. Hair and makeup, Jenny Arbor. Angela Campanile. Kayla Dubilias. Norel French, Claudia Jedge, Sean Hunter, Julia Carmassin, Neil Morrill, Steve Newburn, Daniela Pluchino, Steph Pringle, Nathan Rival, Adrian Stansfield, Julia Valent, Mark Wooten, Sarah Blostein, and Heather Rutenin were handled by Eric Bryson, Jen Georgopoulos, Darren Marsman, Duncan MacLeod, not the Highlander though, Edward A. Quafleck, Bas Reisma, Jeanette Roxborough, Don Stockford, Jennifer Vey, Adam Winlove Smith. Okie dokie. Right, so brings us to our cast. Right, so Grace is played by Samara Weaving. Her fiance, husband to be, Alex, is played by Mark O'Brien. Okay, so Alex's brother is Daniel. Right, now younger versions of Alex and Daniel are played by Chase Churchill, that's Alex, and Etienne Kellysi plays Daniel. Right, now this all kind of started with Aunt Helen. So the younger version of Helen was played by Eleanor Dunkelman, and her fiance Charles was played by Andrew Anthony. Right, so the older Helen, Aunt Helen, played by Nicky Guadagni. Then we have got Tony, played by Henry Chezemi. Becky, played by Andie MacDowell. Emily, played by Melanie Scrofano. Fitch, played by Kristen Bruun. Charity, played by Elyse Levesque. We got Stevens, played by John Ralston. Georgie, played by Liam McDonald. Gabe, played by Ethan Tavares. Clara, played by Hanek Talbot. Tina, played by Celine Tazay. Dora, played by Daniela Barbosa. Becky, played by Kate Ziegler. Two other masked family members. We got James Eddy and Adam Winlove Smith playing those roles. Alicia Richardson is a police officer, and Justin is played by Nate Faxton. Oh, frack, what's his name? Oh my days, my mind has gone completely blank here. Oh, a younger version of Becky is played by Kate Ziegler. Oh yeah, she plays the young Becky, as mentioned. Oh, that's it. Mr. LaBelle is played by James Vanderbilt. Okay, dokie. So yes, people, that is our cast. Right now, I watched this a while back. Right. Not when it first came out. When I say a while back, probably like a year or so ago, right? I just stumbled upon it on Disney Plus, and it was all right. I enjoyed it. It must have been a busy week because I didn't actually do a review for the pod, right? I mean, sometimes you just want to watch a film to watch a film. You know what I mean? But I remember I thought it was more than I expected. Right, I thought it's gonna be just a bit like, but you know, it was definitely kind of fun. There's definitely stuff in here. And I go, hold on a second, right? But for the most part, it was and we have very good performances. Like Andie MacDowell is fucking great in it, but everyone is very good. Everyone is very good, even the fucking kids, right? And kids can definitely sometimes not always hit that emotional level you need. They do a solid job, you know what I mean? Solid job, right? So, film about, I didn't get onto that, did I? All of us have certain efforts so our in-laws will like us, but Grace is going to have to give it her all if she wants to fit in with her brand new husband's wealthy dynasty. Oh yeah, they did actually marry, yes, who require her to follow a brutal tradition. For the bride to try to survive her wedding night while the rest of them hunt her down. The class struggle stuff hits the proverbial fan in this extremely black satire, right? And yeah, one of those ones, right? It's one of those ones where it's kind of like, Alex could have, let certain information go, right? Now he does. That question does try to get addressed in the film. Right? He's like, oh, you would have left me. Which is like, you do kind of think, yeah, they probably could have, that's not really enough. But also, I believe it is said that they weren't engaged for long. Right? They weren't engaged for long. So, it is what it is. But it's like, the tradition is to play a game, right? So you have to draw a card from a box, and then whatever it says on the card, that's what you do. Now, Grace picks Ready or Not, right? Which seems mad innocuous, right? Hide and seek. I've never heard it called Ready or Not before. I don't know if that's a US thing. Right? Over here, it would be hide and seek, right? But yeah, she thinks, oh, that'd be silly. That's fun. but everyone gets mad uptight up in the room. It suddenly becomes all serious, right? And Alex is just trying to be like, oh, just go to my room, just do this, blah, blah, blah. And so we have all of that. And yeah, it gets deadly real quick, right? Real quick. And Grace needs to get thinking. She needs to get acting. So that's when the fun comes. Also, the help in the house. You don't want to be help in this house. It's not necessarily a great thing, as we learn, right? Which is one of the kind of jokes running through the film, right? I think if you like Bettinelli-Olpin and Gillett's previous stuff, right? They've worked on Scream, Abigail, a few other things, right? They've been hired to do The Mummy, which is kind of weird because we've already got a Mummy coming, and then they're doing another Mummy, which is a sequel to those other terrible films. But yeah, they've done a lot of stuff, right? VHS also. So I feel you probably know if you're a fan of their style of filmmaking. With this one, I think it's different to Scream in, I guess you don't have all of those tropes and legacy kind of items you have to force into the film. This one feels more natural, right? And so I think that adds to this fun, right? Like the class thing, it doesn't really play into it because, you know, Grace's background doesn't, right? It's not kind of like, oh, you have to be from the oi polloi to understand this thing or that. Like, that's not a thing, you know? It's just in the story, she's not. That's really it, right? But I think we get these different dynamics from the different family members, right? The different couples, right? And how they reacted to doing this tradition, right? Their faults, right? So there's all of this plus the history, right? Because as kids, Daniel and Alex were part of the last time this shit actually happened, right? So we all have this, and that is interesting because it happened to Helene, right? So it's interesting to see how she is now because, Shorty took a 180. You know what I mean? That's a mad 180 that she took. But yeah, I thought this was decent. There are definitely those moments, right? There's a bit when they're outside and we see one of the family members smoking. I forget her name. But she's outside smoking. And Grace does a thing and screams several times, right? And it's just like, are you trying to tell me that no one's hearing that scream? Right? Basically, Grace is making so much noise through this film, squeezing through the fence, right? There's just so many times where she's screaming and it doesn't attract anyone. And it's just like, listen, it might be a big house, but that can also make sound carry further, right? It's also dead at night, so there's not exactly a load of different noises and things happening. So yeah, you have these certain things where you're just like, huh? I think also Daniel's actions don't necessarily always line up, let's say, because there's things he says, then he does something, and then he does something else. And you're just like, okay, if you're doing that thing, why do the other thing before that? Right? There's things that don't necessarily make sense with that. And you can say it's angst, it's guilt, it's all manner of things, but it still doesn't really add, right? It still is kind of weird. Also, I mean, you could say the same with Alex. There's certain things that don't quite add up, you know? So there is all of that stuff. I think, like, if I was Grace, I would have taken off the dress. Because her room's in the house. She's got her stuff in the house. So you kind of be like, grab some garms and change on the run. Because, yeah, it's not really the most, I think, logistically sensible thing to be doing all of these things in, you know? But this whole thing about this legacy, this, you know what I mean, this way these people got money and hold on to power, it's interesting, right? It's interesting, it's fun. At the end, you're thinking, yeah, that was decent. I don't think you were going, oh, this needs a sequel, right? I don't think you're thinking that at any point. You're like, oh yeah, I want to see where this goes next, because logically, where does it go? All right, so it's going to be interesting, you know what I mean, to see what they do. But yeah, as a first film, Ready or Not, definitely it does work. It does work, and I probably enjoyed this a lot more than the recent Scream films. So, yeah, take that as your barometer, people. Ready?